Howdy, it's me, Manic Mark, breaking in to this video with this video because I found a few more records today. I was out. And it's nice when you go out on Easter. You're not supposed to call it Easter anymore. Spring, the first day of spring, like the Easter, it's supposed to be the spring bunny and spring eggs now. You're not allowed to call it Easter anymore. That baby doll's greasy. Ugh. Then I went to Myers. I hope everybody had a great Easter. I should start out, hey, it's me, Manic Mark, breaking into this video with this here video, wishing everybody that you had like a happy Easter and whatnot. It's supposed to maybe a little bit of snow coming up on Monday. But it's been kind of warm during the day. Should I smash something? I feel like smashing something. I don't even feel like smashing anything. I don't think I'm going to smash anything. I cut out that part. There's a new drink out now. I'm going to buy it on Sunday, so I may have to. But I'm not going to expose the big new drink that's out on the market until just whenever I have it to expose it. Basically, I got a nice piece of meat. I'm going to go fire up the grill. So just a few records to go through today. That's it. Music in the Air. It's the ORF Orchestra, whoever they are. West Germany, made in West Germany. Recorded music library. This could be fun. Okay, there was one thing. This is going to sound so bizarre coming from me, but I look at the billboards now when I'm out on the road. I've been paying attention to billboards, not the old-fashioned billboards. Remember, you have just the thing, they would come and they put up the strips, and then they had the thing with the motors in them that would turn the strips, like they had triangles or something, so they'd like you could get 3 billboards on one, and every so often the motor would turn the strips and it would make a new billboard. Okay, for the blues, Ted Lewis and his orchestra. Vocal choruses by Ted Lewis. And you know, I've got plenty of these. I've got a lot of these. This could be the 4th one. This is sealed. This is totally sealed. It's got that disco version of Somewhere Over the Rainbow by a local group that played in the Showboat Majestic, which is a boat tied to the shore of the Ohio River, on the Ohio side of the Ohio River. And it's still there, and they still put on shows and stuff. Not these people, but other people. And then they went to the electronic billboards. In the first versions of those billboards were not very good, but now they've got much better ones. It's The Incredible Hulk. There are 4 great stories on this record. They're titled Blind Alley Monsters from the Deep, The Assassin in Black Chasm, and the Hulk stars in every one of them. It just makes me wonder how when he turns to the Hulk person, how do they make that sound? How do they make that thing sound? Because it's not like you're saying anything, okay? There'll be some kind of music, I guess, but there's going to be a lot of arr, you know, like arr. Maybe some ripping. They'll put some ripping in there. 1978 Marvel comic group. And I've just been looking at how advertising is designed on these things, okay, to see what colors you can read more easily. And the best time to look at them is when it's overcast, but it's still kind of light, like in the afternoon. It's overcast. Then the colors, everything shows up there. It's really great. Now, when the sun's shining, there's things, you know. And last but not least, it's the dancing zither. It's the dancing zither, and it's the darker, richer colors, okay? But some of the designs are really not very good at all. So like dark, rich reds and dark blues, you can read your text, you know, through it. White on the field of color. I know. Why do I think about these things? It's Karl Swoboda's fabulous scissor swings with a big band. That was like, for me, figuring out how to go to the moon is to figure out how to do the band wrap thing on a Ford. What the hell was the name of it? Okay, the first record I got today, it was Dollar Day. It wasn't half price day at St. Vincent de Paul. Dollar Day, excuse me. One of the reasons why I bought it is because there's a cover of Goldfinger on the damn record. And Yesterday, a cover of the Beatles tune Yesterday. Who's Jean Pierre Rampal, flutist? Or is that flautist? I don't have no idea. Saved that one for last. This looks interesting. It's the Van Damme sound. It's jazz. Some sort of jazz album. Looks like from the late 50s, but that's an interesting cover. Heart and Soul. It's Alan Dean and Robert Maxwell. Harmony 4, but there's 3 of them. On the back they explain there's only 3 of them. Speaking of Germany, here's Germany's singing sensation Bernd Speer. I've got this one, but this was a minty fresh copy of Oregon Moods by Buddy Cole. But it's kind of an obscure album. It's really good. This is a great Percy Faith cover. This early Percy Faith, there's some great titles on this, such as Bahama Lullaby. And I'm wearing this bland sweatshirt and everything. I would just go put on something. It's cold. They say it's gonna snow tomorrow, but tropical. Now, see, I was gonna pronounce that one. Tropical Holiday. There's 2 tropical whatevers on this thing. I don't know. Anyway, it looks good. Oh, this was the one. Okay. Stan Fisher. Okay. Don't normally buy harmonica albums, and I don't normally buy Broadway albums, but I was reading the back of this, and Stan Fisher, as it had its effect on the careers of most entertainers, World War II, the war also put a temporary halt to Stan Fisher's progress. At its outbreak, he immediately enlisted in the Aviation Cadets, where he earned his wings and was commissioned first lieutenant. As a pilot, he flew 35 combat missions over Germany from his base in England, crashed 4 times, and won the Distinguished Flying Cross, the Air Medal with 3 oak leaf clusters, the ETO ribbon with 2 battle stars, and the Presidential Unit Citation. This is a guy that saw some heavy-duty shit, man. I think flyers over Europe suffered the highest attrition rate of any outfit, any type of combat unit. I could be wrong about that, but it was high. Let me just put it that way. It was extremely dangerous for somebody to... And I think 25 missions, and they turned you loose, so he had to go... He went beyond that, or something happened. Anyway, 35 missions. That was a lot. That was a... It's amazing that guy's alive. And to do this then, I mean, why didn't he go like bonkers? You know, like a young man doing that, and didn't go completely bonkers like me, Manic Mark, would have. The Lordsman, I've got this one. Okay. Oh, there is the one thing, Half Price Records. I went in there and there's nobody there around a little record cube area, okay? And all the half-price records, all the bargain records, the 50-cent records, are in a position where you have to sit on the floor, and my legs cramp up, and now I'm to the age that after I go through all the 50-cent records and I go to stand up, I grab a hold of the top of the rack, and I pull myself up, and I kind of hope nothing breaks on the way up, and then I don't fall down in the middle of the store and cause a scene. So I'm in there, and the first thing that happens, nobody's there, okay? And you've heard me tell this story before, and I'm sitting all the way to the end, and I'm flipping through records, and I just don't, you know, it's kind of a slow process. And there's this kid, he comes in, and he's standing there, and he's coming my way, okay? And Denny's leaning over me and my hands are like right next to his crotch. Do you know this has happened before? Like the kid is like not paying any attention to me at all. That I'm on the floor with my hands right next to his crotch. Like what? Anyway, then somebody else came in. They did the same thing, but they were nice enough to say after they were leaning over me, putting their crotch in my face, "You don't mind, do you?" I said, "No, go right ahead." And then there was the guy that came in. He said, "Hey, how y'all doing?" Now, when you go into Half Price Books, I think it's company policy, corporate company store, at least the store policy, that the people at the cash register, if they're not busy and they notice you come in and they say howdy, okay? I kind of like that. That as a business owner, I would want my employees to just like, "What are you doing in here?" No, not that. Like, "Howdy, come on in." So, and I said, "Oh, here's a gregarious person." He said hello to the people behind the counter before they had a chance to say hello to him. He preempted their hello with his hello. And then I hear him ask for something kind of strange in there, like stumbling behind the counter, like, "I don't know what." And then he goes, and then he comes around, and then the guy that had his crotch on my face, who asked me if it was okay, he starts talking to him. "Do you have a record player?" And the guy was very nice, because you can tell that the guy was, you know, challenged. I guess that's the way we got to say it these days. And he was just, it was sweet, but you know, it's like, you know, the conversation, what do you do? What do you do with a conversation like that? He just said, "Yes, I do." And he said, "Is it an old record player or a new one?" And the guy said, "It's a Pioneer. I don't think they make them anymore. It's old." And then the guy said, "Do you ever go to yard sales?" And the guy, flipping through the records, said, "Well, no, not recently." And then the guy said, "Do you like yard sales?" And the guy said, "Well, no, not really." And he said, "Okay, you guys have a great day." And he walked by me, and I just was not in a good mood, or else I would have engaged in conversation. But I just couldn't. I had two crotches in my face already, and I was fed up on this spring Sunday weekend that you can't call Easter anymore. Now for the musical selection.